I should say that I'm Stephen Harry, Massey University's Vice-Chancellor, but also can I take the opportunity to welcome you to the Manawatu in Palmerston North, which increasingly is seen as the agri-food business capital of New Zealand. As we like to say here in this part of the country, if you trace a line across from Gisborne, Taranaki down to the top of the South Island of Marlborough, that's pretty much the food bowl of New Zealand. That's where most of the food is produced. And the Manawatu, of course, is smack in the middle of that food bowl, and it has a large grouping of university and Crown Research Institutes, of Fonterra's Research Institute. So it's a real area that's focusing on helping drive this agri-food business focus that we need in the country right now. So welcome to the capital of those activities here in New Zealand, here in Palmerston North. It's great to see the 2016 Sheep Milk Conference, and I do want to thank all the sponsors. Massey University and Ag Research are the key organisers of the conference, but you'll know there are a range of sponsors who have come on board for the conference this year. Last time I was with you, if you were here at the conference, you would have been in what was called the town square of Food HQ, which is the big conglomeration, the consortium of Massey University and a range of Crown Research Institutes supported by a local government, and Fonterra as an anchor member of Food HQ as well. The town square at this moment is simply a grass area, but in the future will become the focus of a whole range of meetings for ag food business organisations. So that's where you met last time. You may go there again sometime, as I say, in the future, but you have moved to here because it's a bigger conference, 198 and growing. Delegates are here for this conference, which is great to see. And probably that reflects the fact that there's a lot happening. Blue River's successful entry into the Chinese market has gone on since we met last time. Spring Sheep Dairy, which is the Landcorp venture with SLC, which has begun production just outside Taupo, as you will know. Maui Milk, the joint venture between Waituhi Karatau Trust and the Chinese firm Super Organic. That's providing a model, perhaps, of what can be done in the industry. And of course, there's a whole range of great efforts by new and small flock sheep milk producers, such as Wild Blue Cheeses in Woodville and Duncroft from Marston. A lot of new activity going on around the industry as we speak, and there are a lot of new people coming into the industry, and I imagine there are a good number of them here in this room. So all of that's good. Just since last year, we've seen a whole range of new initiatives and a whole range of developments that were taking place at that time come to fruition. But of course, talking even just this morning with people around here, I can see there are large challenges, whether you're a well-developed member of this community or whether you are new. There are a lot of challenges to face, and that's why you have conferences like this. Very exciting time to be together as a new industry like this, but a chance to really figure out what the challenges are, get some of the wise old heads who are knowing what they have done to communicate their experiences, swap ideas for people who are new, and draw on the people who are experts from various other parts of the industry to mix and mingle and come out of here with a better idea of what you might do. At Massey University, you'll know we are the #1 agricultural university in the country. We're one of the highest ranked in this area in the world. We've been going since 1926. We are at the heart, if you like, of what we do in the agricultural food industry in New Zealand. We are certainly committed these days, not just to agriculture in the traditional sense of the word, but how do we take the products that come from what we do best in this country, which is to grow things from our land and sea, and turn them into value-added products, because that is the future. There is no real future if we just stick with producing products. What we have to produce in this country are things which added value means we can take them to a market with a discerning person at the other end, a consumer who knows that we have met every need that they've got, from food safety to quality to whatever it might be, that we've met those needs, and they are willing to pay a premium for that because it comes from the best country for producing food in the world, which is clearly New Zealand. So that's the challenge, not just production, but producing a product which is wanted by someone around the world and they're willing to pay that premium price for it. So that's what we're committed to as a university, and that's what we want to try and help you with as other sponsors want to help you as well. So have a fantastic conference at this exciting time. I think it's great to be on the ground floor of these kinds of developments, and I'm sure you're going to be excited for it. Tonight, you're going to have dinner on our campus in our newly refurbished Sir Geoffrey Perrin building, which was the original building where agriculture started as a university subject here in New Zealand, started in that building. So a great place to go for your dinner this evening, and you'll know the name of Sir Geoffrey Perrin, which of course is one of the people who helped create all the genetic material for the improvement of the sheep flock in New Zealand in the early part of the last century, and the Perrindale is obviously named after him. So what a perfect place for your dinner tonight. Have a wonderful conference, had a wonderful time tonight at Massey University for your dinner, and a wonderful future for your industry. Go well.
Thank you for that. First of all, I'd just like to thank those responsible for our welcome today. For me, being firmly rooted in the deep south, it was a unique experience for me, and one that I enjoyed thoroughly. I do apologise to those of you who had to contend with my social inadequacies, particularly the females, when we weren't sure whether we were honging or kissing or shaking hands, etc. One of you may have even looked disappointed that I didn't come forward for a kiss. Most of them looked quite relieved. But a great experience anyway. One of the things that was referred to during that welcome was that it's all about the people, the people, the people. And that's something that I want to hit on today, because that's so important for us going forward. What I thought I would share with you today was just some of my observations and what I've gleaned from my short time that I've had with Antara Ag, which started out as Blue River. So I'm now the general manager of the farming arm of what was Blue River, Antara Ag. I've been there for a couple of years. And we recently, about 12 months ago, split the business into two. We've carried on the farming part of it, and the new owners are doing a sterling job with the processing and marketing. And I think that's a really important move, and it's been a great move in that it's allowed both parties to concentrate on two very challenging aspects, but two very different aspects of the business. And it is important that we are able to specialise and grow what we do. I will apologise for the tone of what I want to speak about to some extent, in that I'm probably going to identify problems rather than solutions. And it's something I dislike, and I really don't like it when people come to me with a whole list of problems. That's the easy part. Finding solutions is what it's all about. But really the message there is that we don't have all the solutions, and we know that we don't, and as long as we keep thinking that way, we'll keep improving. Reality of what we're doing is that it's bloody difficult. There's no fast and easy way, and if I look at our experiences over a 10 plus year period, there's been a lot of roadblocks on the way, there's been a lot of issues, there's been progress made, and if it would be very easy to sit on the sidelines and look at what has occurred and what progress has been made, and be reasonably critical of it, because some things haven't happened perhaps as well as they could have. But when you look at it objectively, a lot of progress has been made. One of the things that from our side of it they've concentrated on is scale, and scale is important in that it has got a lot of attention, and it has shown that you can achieve things on scale. There's a lot of stuff that we're doing now, extrapolating out the research work that's been done, and there's some great research being done through the Ag Research Program and in other areas. And it's all well and good to do a trial with 15 lambs or 20 ewes or whatever it might be then, but to get it on scale into hundreds, but then into thousands, is a different challenge, and those are the things that we're working through on a daily basis. And it does challenge our people, and it has challenged our people for a long time. Our people have been, to date, a sheep farmers. And we're not farming sheep, we're dairy farming. And it's a different mindset, and it's a different set of skills, and it's a different attitude, and it's a different outlook. And we've recently recruited extensively in that area. And the one good thing that you could say that has come out of the major downturn in the dairy industry as we see it now is it has made those people available to us that others may have different experiences, but for us they have not been available to us. It's been sufficiently different and challenging for them that they have been reluctant to be involved. So that's a great thing. It's a great step for us. We have people of that ilk on board now, and the difference is daylight, and we think that is the key to going forward. We need to, as an industry, we have to grow significantly. We are just absolutely tiny, as we know. And the way it grows is having people and setting up those people to succeed. So we've got to make sure that we have quality stock, quality systems and quality people, and that we're not dropping, you know, the next guy and the next guy in without a really good opportunity to succeed. High performing stock, I think, is a key, and there's been a lot of interest in livestock recently. Everyone's trying to get their hands on East Friesians. I know Miles King was saying he was getting daily phone calls, multiple phone calls every day for looking for livestock. And we all have. I had a phone call from Mexico City one morning with someone looking for 3,000 recorded East Friesian ewes. They probably don't exist in New Zealand, but even if they did, they're certainly not for sale. And there's a lot of hype around about the stock and getting into it. And one of the dangers with that, as we've seen with other industries before, is that, you know, there's a danger that it gets overhyped and we get too much interest in a short space of time, and we get a blowout in pricing and that sort of thing. So far, it hasn't happened. We hope it doesn't. We've all seen it before. We've been through it. My background was in the dairy industry, and you know we all know what happened there. There was massive prices paid at some times, and then it settled down, and it grew significantly, and it had a steady state position where they were selling 500 to 600,000 carcasses a year. It had a blowout in prices and went up to 800 to 900. They sold it all. They're talking next year it's 300. Will it come again? I can't see it because it's got overcooked. So we just need to be wary about working collaboratively to ensure that we don't follow in the footsteps of others. Where if we can learn from other people's mistakes, it's much easier than learning from our own. Personally, now, from our point of view, we are concentrating on stock quality, stock performance. We've been a numbers game in the past. We're deepening and widening our base so to get the growth. Numbers are really important. You do have to have scale, but you've got to have the good base to start from, and that's not only for us to grow, but we see it important that we bring on other farmers, investing their money, their expertise, and applying their minds to how we can make this better and better all the time. And I think that's a really, really important thing to do. Farming's probably the easiest part, and there's lots of challenge with farming. As we know, taking that product and turning it into something else is another set of challenges, and then getting it to market and in the form that the marketplace wants at a price that satisfies both sides of the fence. And again, scale's a big part of that. So there's lots of issues, lots of conundrums, and I think the best way that we can all succeed is if to whatever extent we can, it's collaboratively work. To do it on our own is probably the Kiwi way. We do tend to go out and do our own thing. And that's not always the best way. We need great producers, we need great processors, and we need great marketers. And it's been a fault, I think, of the farming community to think that they, as individuals, can be good at all three. Bloody difficult to be good at one, let alone all three. So, you know, we need specialisation and we need cooperation. But there's huge opportunities, and you know, we're certainly have been with, you know, our owners and have been there from the start, have taken big risks, they have made a lot of progress, but they're still there, they're still optimistic about it. We still see some great opportunities out there, and we think if we're all just innovative and look for the disruptive technology that's going to take us forward and find a different way, then it's got a massive future. So good luck to everyone.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, kia ora. Firstly, like Steve, I'd like to make just a special welcome to some of our special guests here today, particularly Mr. Chan from Blue River Dairy, and particular thanks for his sponsorship of this conference, without of which it could not occur. So ni hao, Mr. Chan. Likewise to Ms. Dang from a part owner of Maui Milk. It's great to have you here today, ni hao. I'd also, again like Steve, like to make special note of some of our honorary guests, which I guess that means they didn't have to pay. Joanna Williams from the beautiful Hawke's Bay, Origin Earth. Peter Gatley, who is definitely special, from Maui Milk. And a special thanks to Jazz, and thanks very much for your insight this morning, Jazz. It's, as pioneers of the industry, it would be all so easy, I guess, to keep it all to yourselves. So it's great to have your contribution to the conference today. Our Chief Executive, Tom Richardson, sends his apologies and best wishes for the conference, and of course sent me along to do the job. So it is great from an ag research perspective to be a co-organiser of this conference with Massey University. I think, as Steve alluded, ag research and Massey have got an excellent relationship that is growing increasingly closer with the food hub development. So this forum is a great opportunity for science and farming and the industry to come together and learn from each other, as Jazz alluded. There's no doubt that science can help this emerging industry with best practice guidelines on farm and with science to support health claims and such like for the resulting food products. And certainly would like to acknowledge the support from government, from the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment. It's quite a mouthful. Their support for the current research program that is going on. There's no doubt without that support that work would not be able to happen. But of course you don't need me to tell you, as Jazz well pointed out, that there are challenges ahead in the industry for individual companies and for the industry as a whole. And I guess this conference is a great example of how we can handle some of the industry challenges together and as such be a lot stronger industry. And so it's great to see everyone here today. AgResearch is very pleased to be able to support this conference and certainly look forward to supporting individual companies and farmers and the industry as a whole as we move forward. So finally, welcome and best of luck for a productive conference. Thank you very much.
Kia ora koutou, ko Lucy Griffiths takuingoa, no Wairarapa aho, he kaimahi o mō Innovate Aotearoa, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. My name's Lucy Griffiths. I have my own marketing consultancy business, Innovate Aotearoa. I live just over the hill in the Wairarapa, but I'm very passionate about the Manawatu. And I'm a farmer's daughter from Invercargill originally. In 2014, I was privileged to win a Nuffield scholarship to travel to 12 countries around the world. And my specialist area of research was sheep milk farming and marketing. And my passion for sheep milk came because I am a marketer. and I realised that we've got to think about new products for New Zealand, new markets. And I'd had the opportunity to work with Miles and Janet King in Masterton and to see how their cheese, their sheep cheese, was selling like hotcakes. So that was my topic, and boy has the industry changed in the past 2 years. But it's my privilege to be your MC for the next day and a half. I unfortunately have to shoot away around afternoon tea tomorrow. I'd like to just do a few matters of housekeeping, but before I do, I'd really like to thank Linda Samuelson and Craig Pritchard, if you could both stand up, if you're both here, for your amazing effort in getting over 200 of us together for a second year, and for your timeless effort and commitment to the industry. If everyone could just give them a cheer on for their hard work. Thank you, team. And also just another thank you to our sponsors, to our primary sponsor, Blue River Dairy, to our cornerstone sponsors, AgMart, who have kindly sponsored our international spokesman from Israel tomorrow, to MB, to Ag Research, to Massey, and to Delaval and Opus. We thank you so much for your support of this conference. So just some housekeeping things. Can you please make sure that your phones are off? We are recording the sessions, and that would be great if you could turn those off now. The bathrooms are just straight through past the cup of tea, a couple of doors down, and you'll see them in the foyer on the left. In case of emergency, just pop down the stairs and out to the tree where we assembled for the porphyry. If you do happen to be on social media, our hashtag is Sheep Milk New Zealand, so you can search for everything that's trending on our conference by using that hashtag. If you'd like to get on Wi-Fi, there's free Wi-Fi. You have to sign up to the Inspire free Wi-Fi. We've got several student volunteers here from Massey. Are any of the volunteers around? They're not here. Oh, there's one here. Would you like to stand up, show us your t-shirt? So keep an eye out for the Massey University t-shirts there, and the students. You can go up to them and you can coordinate transport for tonight's dinner, or if you'd like a ride back to the conference tomorrow, just go and see one of the Massey students and they'll help you out there. If you are speaking today, could you please drop your presentations up to Daniel over in the IT section before your session? And just a note on the Sheep Dairy Conference, it's part of the New Zealand Agri-Investment Week, which is a phenomenal week that we've got planned here in the Manawatu. Has the Balance of Farm Awards, Perspective 2025, large investment showcase, and it finishes with the CD Field Days. So I hope some of you are going to stay around and support some of those initiatives.